In this video, you will learn about the dangers associated with using handheld technology while driving vehicles and operating mobile plant machinery. To remain situationally aware of your environment, follow the best practices outlined to ensure your safety and that of others, as well as compliance with the law. Checking messages at a red light, looking at social media in traffic, picking up your phone for a quick chat. You see others doing it and perhaps you do it yourself. It might feel harmless, but so many shocking news headlines show us that it's an incredibly dangerous act. The temptation to use your handheld device when driving is massive, but you're taking your eyes off the road every time you do and losing your concentration, which can have devastating consequences. It's time to stop, right now. A handheld device is a communication device that can send and receive data, such as a phone, sat-nav, tablet, or route scheduling device. It's important to remember that when operating mobile plant, a two-way radio should only be used when the equipment is stationary, and no other handheld devices should be used at any time when operating the equipment. Using a handheld device at the wheel has been illegal for decades, and while the penalties for doing so are tough, could you live with causing a traffic collision because your device distracted you? Motorists are therefore breaking the law if they use a handheld device behind the wheel. Consequently, you must not use a device in your hand for any reason, whether online or offline. For example, you must not text, take photos or videos, scroll through music playlists, use streaming or browsing services, or play games. The only time it's permissible to use a handheld device when driving is in an emergency to dial 999 or 112 when it's unsafe or impractical to stop.
Lucy?
Hi.
Hi, have you got a moment?
Sure.
Is it okay to use my mobile phone hands-free while I'm driving?
Yes, absolutely. As long as you don't have to hold the phone to operate it, that's fine. That being said, depending on the situation, it may be safer for you to pull over, switch the engine off, take your keys out, and then make the call.
Is it okay to touch my screen to accept a call while I'm driving, as long as it's hands-free?
Yes, that's fine, as long as you've still got full control of the vehicle, so you're not reaching too far across the windscreen or taking your eyes away from the road for too long. So a properly installed hands-free kit is going to have its own answer button, or if your car's got an inbuilt kit, there's usually a button on the steering wheel.
Endorsements or penalty points vary depending on the severity of the offence, but you will get a minimum of 6 points on your licence and a £200 fine for using a handheld device when driving. You can get 3 penalty points if you don't have a full view of the road and traffic ahead or proper control of the vehicle. If driving on company business, there will be policies that impose sanctions for offences. Any drivers with a vocational licence receiving a fixed penalty are automatically reported to the Traffic Commissioner, who would then call the driver to a driver conduct hearing, with the likely result of their vocational licence being suspended. Current law forbids holding a mobile phone while driving. Although this could mean you can tap your screen when your phone is fixed on a mount, the police can charge you for driving without due care and attention or careless driving. Driving without due care and attention will result in a fixed penalty notice. If you need to use a sat-nav when driving a large goods vehicle, then this must be LGV specific and can be programmed to your vehicle's specifications.
Is it okay to use my phone as a sat-nav?
Yes, you can use your phone as a sat-nav. What I would say is, 1, make sure the phone's in the cradle, 2, make sure you put the destination in before you set off, and finally, I'd also recommend you have those audio instructions switched on, because that way you're not taking your eyes off the road for too long.
So I've got a cradle. What is the safest position on the screen where I can put it?
Right, so you want it to be somewhere where it's not obscuring your view of the road. So low down is fine, or slightly to the side, but not directly in front of you.
Just one more question, Lucy. If I'm in a queue of traffic or I'm waiting to enter a site and my engine is switched off, can I use my mobile phone?
No, because in the eyes of the law, you're still in control of the vehicle. So, for example, if you've got that stop-start technology and your engine's getting turned off when you're queuing, you're still in control of the vehicle, so you shouldn't be using your mobile phone.
Okay, thanks for that, Lucy.
You're very welcome, no worries.
Driving is one of the most mentally demanding things you can do. That's a fact. Driving really does require your full attention. Hands-free devices are in use at certain municipal contracts to track the work undertaken, i.e. route scheduling devices. The driver can only utilise the hands-free device when the vehicle is not in motion. The device can be used when the vehicle is stationary and the engine is running so long as it is safe to do so. This doesn't include when stopped at traffic lights or stuck in traffic and the device is in the hands-free cradle. If the device needs to be taken out of the cradle for it to be used by the driver, the vehicle's engine must be switched off, or the driver needs to get out of the vehicle before using it. In summary, incoming calls can be answered whilst driving, so long as doing so only involves the pressing of one button. Conversations must be kept to a minimum, and if you must answer, say you are driving and end the conversation as soon as possible. Let the call go to voicemail and then phone the caller back when parked up and the engine is off. Outgoing calls are only permissible if the call could be started without touching the phone, i.e. via voice activation or through steering wheel controls. Calls should again be kept to a minimum and should only be made when necessary. Following or participating in a conference call is prohibited. When operating mobile plant, a two-way radio should only be used when the equipment is stationary.